on it March 2nd, 2023. So I had a little problem here with the set when I put it up in the car. It's so close to the dash board. This is just going to put a band-aid so that the end out fits in there. While I've been shifting it up the fire department, they all have to have it measured up there. We're not, you know, up to that place, but we're just gonna heat it up and just use the dash a little bit. Things are going pretty good here, Rushmore. I don't know if they're making a lot of progress on this 48 Chevy. So now my hand's not touching the dash when I put it into park. And it goes all the way down below without, it won't hit the seat, the stock seats about this tall. So that's going to work out pretty well. I was telling you guys yesterday I knew I had one of these. Well, I did have one, but I had to cut it off of the transmission from the 48 chassis out back. And the one that I had, I used it in the 36. I don't know why I kept thinking I had one, but I used it in the 36 Chevrolet. So I did have one, but I hadn't cut it off yet. So what I do is so that I'm able to get it, so that I'm able to get the floor pan in and out, what I do is I put a cotter pin down here, and then I'm able to lift this right out of the, and so once I put the floor pan back in, I put this back in. Pretty simple tack. And it gives you the look, I think, of the old truck, you know, and you got the steering column and the shift and stuff. You know, look how low I'm sitting. I look like a midget because there's no seat in here. Like the kid. Remember when you were a kid, you played in the truck? It's about what you looked like, right? Oh, boy. They tell me the older you get, the more you think about when you were young, and it's probably true. I think about the past a lot, but I had a lot of good times like most of y'all probably. So on the fuel tank, made some progress there as well. I brought the Impala fuel tank up. It's outside. I didn't bring it in because I don't want to smell the gas. I'm going to pull the fuel pump and stuff out of it. But what I did here was I cut these off on the back so that the tank can go right up against the headboard. And then what I'm going to do is this is going to get welded right to the tank. And then I'll be able to drill through here and bolt it right down to the bed. And then the straps, I'm going to put them back on, the original straps. But they won't be holding the tank. They'll just be for look. And I'll weld them in the back and weld them up so that they stay in place and look like they're actually doing something. But that's how I do it. This tank got a big old Made in Canada sticker on it over here, so I don't know if this was a replacement tank or what, because you see how they got all epoxy holding the neck in? I don't know if it started leaking there or something. But I'm going to pull this out, this unit. And this is a fuel pump sending unit and your tubes and everything. And I'll disassemble this and use parts of it. The fuel pump, the sending unit. And I'll rewire it into that plate that I took off the top. I was a little lucky. She's going to come inside in a little bit. Huh? Go do your stuff now. So that what I'll do is I'll go over the hardware and I'll get some bulkhead fittings where you can transfer fuel through, and it has the lock nut and everything, and those will go on that plate, the clean out plate. I took the tank outside and washed it out with water and soapy water and everything. It's all cleaned out. It's ready for welding now. There's no gasoline smell at all. I found 2 small holes that I have to weld up, and then weld these on and put the plate with the fuel pump and everything, and I'll be ready to start pumping some fuel. I'm gonna give it another, I'll say probably another 4 hours of work. Out from Rusty, Rhode Island.